look behind the badge at one of the way cops are trying to reduce drunk driving in Orange County.
And reinstated, a high school basketball team is back on court, days after forfeiting their playoff spot all over a jersey dispute.
Plus, coming up in entertainment, I'll take you on an exclusive walk down the OC Fashion Week catwalk. And all of this and more coming up.
And $250,000 of headphone equipment stolen from a factory here in Costa Mesa. We'll tell you exactly what happened. You're watching Chapman News.
Good afternoon, Orange County, and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Michael Ragazzo.
And I'm Sydney Connor. Lots to get to this half hour, and we start today in Costa Mesa. In the last few years, the market for premium headphones has exploded. High-end headphones have made musicians like Dr. Dre very wealthy. They have also become an attractive target for thieves. Evan Arani has the story of the headphone heist this past weekend in Costa Mesa.
The staff at Odyssey Headphones came into work on Saturday morning only to realize they were the victims of a burglary. Thieves stole over 150 pairs of headphones from their factory in Costa Mesa, but these aren't your average headphones.
This is our most expensive headphone, the LCD3, and this retails for approximately $2,000.
The burglary took 3 hours as the men crawled in through this small hole in the garage door. They stayed low to the ground once they were in and avoided motion detectors.
Well, they definitely had inside information. They knew where the motion sensors were. They knew where the video cameras were. They purposely did not stand up. They crawled. We have some surveillance video, and it looks like an Army training film. You see them crawling around, rolling around. Never once did they stand up because that would have set off the motion detectors and therefore the alarm.
The men who were wearing masks and gloves left with over $250,000 of merchandise.
First we were stunned, and of course then we were horrified, and then for a company our size, very small, we're a very boutique, niche-oriented business, $250,000 hit is a big hit for us.
But now the top-of-the-line manufacturer is taking to the internet in the hopes of gathering more information. The current homepage of the website warns consumers of the security breach, encouraging them to verify the serial number on their headphones to ensure they were sold from the manufacturer themselves. The break-in is under active investigation by the Costa Mesa Police Department, and Odyssey Headphones is offering a $10,000 reward to anyone with more information that can lead to the arrest and conviction of the burglars. From Costa Mesa, Evan Arani, Chapman News.
In a post on their Facebook yesterday, Odyssey Headphones thanked the community for the continuous support since the incident. The homeless man killed by police officers on Skid Row this week has been identified as 43-year-old Charlie Lindu Kunong. Authorities have disclosed that Kunong had been living under the false identity of a man who had previously been convicted of an armed robbery. Officers came in contact with Kunong when responding to a 911 call on Skid Row and report that he would not listen to their commands. Kunong reached for the gun of the rookie officer, causing the more experienced officers on the scene to open fire. The name of the officers involved has not yet been released.
Chapman's Student Government Association held their executive seat elections this week, and the results are in. This year's executive elections brought the highest voter turnout in recent years.
Overall, there was an 18.31% voter turnout.
After two strong campaigns this year for the seat of SGA President and Vice President, Josh Noodleman and J.C. Rowe won the election for next year. Josh was overjoyed by the results.
When they announced, I broke into tears. It's unreal. I'm so beyond happy right now.
The pair can't wait to begin working on what they promised the student body in their campaign and working with the new Senate. Elections for Student Government Senate will be held in April.
Police have identified the El Dorado High School teacher who was found hanging in her classroom Monday morning as 31-year-old Anaheim resident Jillian Rose Jacobson. The photography teacher's body was discovered by her students and colleague who unlocked the classroom. After discovering her body hanging from the ceiling, two staff members helped get Jacobson down, attempting to give her CPR. She was announced dead at the scene. Students were sent home early Monday, with grief counselors remaining on campus the rest of the week. A vigil was held Monday night in Jacobson's honor.
Almost every weekend, police officers and sheriff deputies in Orange County set up a number of DUI checkpoints. Reporter Megan Shin has the details on what you should know before you drive up to the next one.
3 arrests, 9 vehicles impounded, and 19 citations, all on one evening at a DUI checkpoint. But what should you know before you end up in the line?
Well, the whole message here is not to arrest people. It's simply to deter drunk driving.
Garden Grove PD has a zero-tolerance policy for DUI drivers, but they give the public a heads up.
You know, we make a press release for every checkpoint we do.
At the checkpoint, they have a 2-step screening process. Cars are first stopped where officers check the driver and their license. Officer Roy Swimmer from Garden Grove PD says they look for the influence of alcohol or other illegal prescription drugs.
You know, I just wish people would understand the seriousness of getting behind the wheel and operating, you know, several thousand-pound vehicle that turns into a weapon, you know, ultimately when you drink and drive.
Signs include slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, and the smell of alcohol. If needed, an officer will leave a paper on the car for further inspection.
What they believe, the person doesn't have a driver's license, or if it's suspended, they write it down, or if they suspect alcohol.
The driver is then directed to the pit, a second screening area. Officers examine the driver and either issue a citation or conduct a field sobriety test.
And then doing some psychophysical exams, which is like the heel to toe and the one leg stand and the finger to nose.
And officers determine whether or not to arrest the driver.
That we aren't out just to get everybody just because you've had a drink.
Those who cross the line end up in cuffs with the blood sample drawn and car impounded. But you do have a right to ask to be breathalyzed.
You know, just as many times as it'll put somebody over the limit, it'll clear that many drivers to get back out on the road and get to where they're going safely.
But above all, the whole meaning of the checkpoint is safety.
The police department's out here. We're looking for people under the influence, as well as educate the public and do our best jobs to make roadways safe.
That we're out here for their safety. We're not out here to cause problems or to be picking on anybody. It's a safety standpoint.
Reporting from Garden Grove, I'm Megan Shin, Chapman News.
Research shows that accidents involving impaired drivers can be reduced by up to 20% with well-publicized DUI checkpoints and saturation patrols.
Every year, over 400,000 high school students take the UP AP U.S. History exam, but this year, Oklahoma students will not be allowed to. Laura Newicki explains.
Oklahoma lawmakers voted to remove the Advanced Placement U.S. History course and test from statewide curriculum. The bill, HB 1380, was sponsored by Republican Daniel Fisher, with the vote passing 11-4. They decided to do this after the 2014 changes to the test that the lawmakers believe is leaving out American exceptionalism, or the idea that America's history is one of great achievement. This bill stops all state funding regarding the new version of the course, forcing schools to either remove it or go back to the version taught in 2013 and before. The AP U.S. History course is designed to teach students both the positives and negatives of the country's history, and not teach it in a way that only the positives are focused on.
Perhaps it's not like the history class our grandparents or parents took.
Educators say that the test was not redesigned to necessarily make it harder, but rather have students think critically on the subject matter, just as a college course would allow them to.
The students have more open-ended ways and abilities to answer the questions, and they're looking at historical context and contextualization and being able to get that analytical perspective and seeing the common thread throughout U.S. history.
The Republican National Committee and parts of the bill mention that they want specific documents to be taught in the classroom. These would include Reagan's speeches, the Ten Commandments, and the Declaration of Independence. With the AP course being removed from school's curriculum, Oklahoma students will not be taking the AP U.S. History test this year, putting them at a disadvantage when it comes to applying to colleges. Laura Nowicki, Chapman News.
Following Oklahoma's actions, Texas, South Carolina, Georgia, and Colorado are also considering changing their AP United States history curriculum.
Imagine winning a game, a playoff game, and then having to forfeit the game due to the color of your jerseys. That was the reality of a local high school team whose story gained national attention. Reporter Gardner Royce was there and talked to the team.
Less than a week after winning a nail-biting semifinal game that put them in the CIF final, the Narbonne High School girls basketball team was shocked when the CIF disqualified them from the championships for wearing pink jerseys that violated league rules. The team said they didn't know they were in violation and were supporting a cause that affected multiple players on the team.
In the beginning, we didn't really believe it. We were kind of like dumbfounded and thought maybe it was like a joke. But once we realized how serious it was, we were devastated.
Following an appeal by head coach Victoria Saunders and Narbonne administrators, Saunders said she barely slept that night, but awoke to find that the CIF had overturned the disqualification and reinstated the Gaucho girls, sending the team into a delirious state of excitement.
So I started screaming and just telling everybody, like, we're back in and we're about to do some big things.
They handled the news pretty well. They didn't, just go off and, run into a school, hollering, screaming like that. They handled it very well, like mature young ladies. And for that, I'm pleased, I'm proud, and it just let me know that my work has paid off.
Will be prohibited from coaching in Saturday's championship game. Her assistant coach and the men's basketball coach will take her place, and her players say that she'll be there in spirit. For Chapman News, I'm Gardner Royce.
The Gauchos play tomorrow against Palisades High School in the CIF sectional championship game.
The team is on probation next year and will be prohibited from hosting playoff games.
St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner on Tuesday, March 17th, and we thought it would be a fun idea to bring in one of Orange County's finest bagpipe players, Robert Hackney, to tell us about his musical craft.
He is the retired bagpipe major for the Westminster bass Nicholson Pipes and Drums, and he even plays his pipes at Chapman events. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us how you started playing the bagpipes.
Well, it was something I was interested in. I just was so much wanting to learn. I tried to teach myself and I got nowhere. So I had to find a teacher, and I finally did and went from there.
That's awesome.
What is it about bagpipes that make you so passionate about playing them?
They basically scream. It's rock and roll. It's acoustic. Ma'am. Yes, you'll hear in a minute.
So what Chapman events have you played at?
Well, the band has played at graduation ceremonies for the Chapman Law School for years and years and years and years. And we still do that, although the full band doesn't do it anymore. We have two pipers and a drummer do it now. But and then I've played personally for convocations.
Cool.
And mostly
That's
that.
so cool.
Yeah,
Do you
that
like
sounds
being
fun.
on campus at Chapman and being involved in the community?
Of course. Yeah. Oh, it's great. They love it. So what's to complain about that?
Yeah. So outside of Chapman, what are your plans for this St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I usually play at the Fullerton Coyote Hills Country Club, but a lot of St. Patrick's Day is the big day for Scottish pipers. So.
It is.
Are there any events this weekend that?
Yes, there are. I'm going to be playing at the LA Scottish Fiddlers concert in Hermosa Beach.
Cool.
They have me in between the fiddle tunes.
So you used to play in a band, but now that you're retired, what's it like being in a one-man band?
Hey, I love it.
You like the solo?
I do. I played with the band last weekend at Congressman Ted Lieu's swearing-in ceremony at Royce Hall out in UCLA.
Cool.
So that was a full band.
And you're also working at La Harper High School?
Yes.
What do you do over there?
I teach the students in how to play pipes. They're trying to resurrect their old pipe band. They are the Highlanders, and their band director, Phil Whiteman, wants to resurrect a band. They actually had a band in the 1960s, and it kind of went by the wayside, but they're trying to rebuild it. And so I'm volunteering to teach them pipes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So cool.
Well, thank you, Mr. Robert Hackney, or should I say Mr. Bagpipes, for coming in to talk to us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
When we come back, teachers and students showcasing their tech talent and the local school district working to give students a first-hand digital experience.
I'm here at the Irvine Animal Center, and in just a few minutes, we'll be talking to the new director of the shelter, who will be telling us how he will be helping out little fellas like Jamie.
And from hail to winds, it's been a crazy week for weather. I'm Renee Willis, and I'll have your weekend forecast right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Take your life to new heights. Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead. Follow your dreams. Chapman University. History, philosophy, peace studies, languages. Study abroad and explore the world. Become a global citizen. The Wilkinson College at Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
Forbes magazine just announced its list of world billionaires for 2015, and some of the wealthiest are your OC neighbors. 11 Orange County residences were included on the roster of nearly 2,000 billionaires, topping the local's Irvine Company chairman Donald Brin at number 64 with an estimated wealth of $15 billion. The list also includes Kingston technology owner David Sun and John Tu, and Jim Ginnard, the founder of Oakley and Red Digital Cinema. One of the Chapman's biggest supporters also made it on top of the list at spot 949, Panther alum George Argyris with an estimated wealth of $2 billion.
The Super Bowl and its famous commercials drew in millions of viewers this year, but instead of buying Doritos, Orange County fans bought houses. The big game represents the unofficial kickoff of house hunting season, and OC has been a vast jump in purchases. In the past month, almost 3,000 new escrows opened, which is double from the start of the year, and 18% more than last year. The market is projected to last 56 days compared to last year's 66-day market length. Despite the demands for homes increasing, the amount for homes for sale hasn't adjusted. Similar to last year, OC listings total around 5,500, indicating it is now a seller.
20 schools from the Fullerton School District came together to talk about the tech and the impact it's making in their classrooms. Roma Daravi filed this report.
Tea and Technology, held at Ladera Vista Junior High School in Fullerton, is a district-wide event to showcase their approach on digital learning being established in the schools. Kids as young as 3rd grade have joined in on the tech-style learning systems.
There are all these definitions that people pick up on your page and they can maybe learn new words about.
The purpose is really to awaken innovation and imagination in our kids. It's about accelerating learning. It's about giving kids a voice and amplifying that voice utilizing technology, and it's really about activating agency in kids so that they can change themselves and change the world around them.
Each student is given an iPad that they not only use in the classroom but are allowed to take home to further expand their learning.
I took a video and it's all about... I was entering Mrs. Brandt. Her favorite children's book is Blueberries for Sale.
The Fullerton School District has been recognized by President Obama as one of the most technologically advanced districts in the nation.
Our vision is that children of today need to be independent learners.
The technology being used will help increase the creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration among students. This type of learning structure will ensure that the students grow up to become assets in the global market of the 21st century. For Chapman News, I'm Roma Darabi.
Students and faculty have shown nothing but excitement when it comes to the technological advancements being placed in their learning curriculum.
In January, the director at the Irvine Animal Shelter stepped down after months of complaints and upset citizens.
Chapman News reporter Yuri Sharon is live in Irvine now with Dr. Greenwood, the interim director at the shelter, to tell us more about how the facility plans to rebuild its reputation.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the Irvine Animal Care Center, where they recently lost some key staff members, leaving the center without appropriate leadership. Now, the city of Irvine has reached out to Dr. James Greenwood here, who has agreed to take over the management of the shelter for the next 3 months until they find a permanent manager. Now, Dr. Greenwood, can you tell me a little bit about what you're hoping to accomplish here for the shelter?
Sure. I'm hoping, obviously, to help turn things around, to establish new programs, and basically to make sure that the animals are well cared for and that the shelter grows and we get more volunteers in as we go.
Definitely. And now, what can the community, the local community here in Orange County do to get involved here at the shelter and help you out?
Okay, well, we have a volunteer program. In fact, we have an orientation tomorrow with almost 75 people that are interested in volunteering in the future. Donations are always accepted, and we also like people to come and adopt animals. We have rabbits and cats and dogs, so it's a good opportunity.
That's so cool. And I heard that you also do some educational activities here at the shelter.
Yeah, groups come through and see if you notice there's a little farm area, and we're going to do more work with Irvine Unified School District to bring kids in, all to get them to understand and appreciate the animals.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Greenwood. I'll be hanging out here playing with some little dogs and cats that I saw back there. But remember, if you're considering getting a pet, adoption is always the best option. From Irvine, I'm Yuri. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Yuri. It's great to see someone so dedicated to such a great cause.
Now, all I'm thinking about is how do I get to be the person that hangs out with animals after our show?
Or how do I get my own little puppy, right?
That's true.
A deal may have been met with the struggle isn't over for some in the LA ports dispute. Leah Kirschman has the story on how Orange County businesses coping with the repercussions of the dock workers' strike.
The ILWU and the Pacific Maritime Association reached a contract agreement on Friday, ending a months-long dispute and subsequent strike of the dock workers at the LA port.
Carmen?
But the story isn't over for some. Local and national businesses are waiting for products still docked in the ports.
Especially parts going into Asia, we're seeing there are considerable delays, at the port. Some of our stuff's been sitting at port for over a week now, waiting for ships to come and pick the stuff up.
Fabrice Kativa is Vice President of Global Motorsports Group, a company that relies on the LA ports for shipping out and receiving their international products. The Los Angeles and Long Beach ports handle about 40% of U.S. goods and about $1 billion each day during normal operations. It may take weeks or months to clear the backlogged goods stuck in the ports. Despite the effect on his business, Katiba is understanding of the situation.
We end up having some upset customers, and we obviously try and manage that with customer service. We do offer a premium brand here at Global Motorsports Group, so people are inclined to wait for it. Has it affected our business? Yes. Can I be mad about it? No. Everyone's got families to feed, so I do understand that people need to do what they need to do.
For Chapman News, I'm Selah Carmen, Long Beach.
That was Selah Carmen reporting. Companies such as AT&T and Comcast have also promised they will challenge the new rules in court.
The University of California system will experience enrollment changes in the near future. Juliana Allegrati has the story.
University of California President Janet Napolitano said Tuesday she will cap enrollment at current levels unless the state of California increases funding for UCs by $218 million. Out-of-state student enrollment at Cal and UCLA, where non-Californians make up 20% of the undergraduate population, will also be capped. But at the 8 other University of California schools, out-of-state enrollment can rise. Out-of-state students currently pay 3 times as much as Californians in tuition and other expenses. With the monetary incentive to admit more out-of-state students, current University of California students are feeling miffed.
I think it's really important to have like a larger in-state population, just because it's a state-run institution, so we should naturally have more students from the state.
The financial gridlock surrounding the University of California, created by Napolitano and Governor Jerry Brown, shows no sign of loosening up. UC tuition will increase 28% over the next 5 years unless the governor agrees to increase funding. For Chapman News, I'm Juliana Allegrati.
Enrollment issues, 103,000 California seniors applied to UCs this year. Orange County beaches were covered in hail on Monday as a fast-moving storm passing through Southern California resulted in thunder, lightning, and a white coast.
The storm especially impacted the Huntington Beach area, and residents of Surf City, USA are in awe at the rare weather. Some of our viewers sent us images of icy snowmen on the sand, while local surfers took advantage of the event and used skimboards as makeshift snowboards.
The ice melted by mid-afternoon and the beach returned to its normal state. Now, I'm from Southern California. We don't experience too much snow in Orange County. So you're from Pacific Northwest though, so you probably experience much more of this.
I'm from Spokane, Washington, so in the winter, it's constant snow. And I missed it this winter, so it was kind of a nice surprise.
I'm pretty jealous, actually. But Renee, do you think we'll see any snow this week?
For this week, actually no, but in this picture behind me, you can see, taken on Monday, that Huntington was covered in hail, and this video provided to us by the National Weather Service shows how within 3 hours, the clouds move in, and then Huntington is covered. Beautiful, beautiful winter wonderland. But we're going to move into warmer weather for us this week. Starting right now, our temperatures currently in Orange is at 81 degrees, and then on the coast area 75, so a beautiful day to hit the beach. And then right here, San Clemente at 72 degrees. Beautiful, beautiful weather. But we're going to pull out for you guys, showing you a little bit more of SoCal. So Santa Barbara here, 80 degrees. All these temperatures seem to be in the low 80s. Oceanside 71, Avalon, Catalina, which is my sister's name. Happy birthday to you, baby sis. And then moving it inland to Big Bear Lake, 55, which is pretty normal for this time of weather. Our 5-day outlook for you guys today, a high of 85, but there is a wind advisory until tomorrow, until 12 p.m. So make sure that you guys are cautious of the winds, which should reach up to gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour. Then tomorrow, we're going to reach our highest day of the week at 86 degrees, and then the low should be 55 that day. And then it should be pretty clear until about Monday evening, and when evening fog will seep in, but should clear up Tuesday morning. So spring has sprung, and if you guys have not guaranteed any plans for this weekend, you can hit baseball at Harts Park where they face a doubleheader on the first game should be at 11 and the degrees should be 80, and then at 2:30 their second game is going to go up 5 degrees to 85. So make sure you guys are wearing a hat, you guys are protected with sunblock, but I'm sure Vivian Vu has more with athletic sports. Vivian?
Thanks, Renee. We take you to the hut as Panthers basketball looks to advance in the SCIAC. And Ducks making last-minute trades before the NHL deadline. And a clockwork conundrum for the Clippers. All that and more coming up next on the Best Campus Sports Show.
Don't stand by, stand up.
Emergencies and disasters happen with little or no warning and often occur while you are away from home. Be ready for emergencies by registering your alternate phone numbers, cell phones, and email addresses at alertoc.com. You will receive alerts when an emergency occurs near your workplace or neighborhood.
Yo, 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 Vivian Vu is back with the best campus sports show. And we start with some breaking news out of New York. Today, the NCAA suspended Syracuse men's basketball coach Jim Boeheim for 9 ACC games. This comes after a 10-year investigation into athletic program misconduct. The NCAA cited academic misconduct and drug testing failures, among other things. The team will also lose scholarships and will be forced to vacate wins. Now taking it back to Orange, Friday night Panthers basketball earned their spot in the SCIAC tournament finals with a win over the Whittier Poets. We take it to the hut. Saturday night showdown, Claremont Mudscripts and our Chapman Panthers trying to earn a spot in the NCAA tournament. Hamasaki starts off hot, 3 shots right off the top, the night before scoring a career high of 36 points in a game. Then hands off to Saversniks with the 3. After that, it was a Stags game. Jack rode all 4 of the 3, quick turnaround. Tyler Gaffney right here with the jumper. Jack early to Gaffney again, putting his own little twist on the layup. Look at that. In the last minute of the game, Chapman scored 10 points, but it wasn't enough to come out with the win. Claremont takes the game 71-66. The Anaheim Ducks, who currently lead the NHL with 91 points, decide that the defense they had wasn't enough to contend for a Stanley Cup, and decided to make a flurry of trades before Tuesday's trade deadline. The first was for Simone Dupré. The Ducks traded Ben Lovejoy to the Pittsburgh Penguins for the speedy third-year defenseman. They then traded 2 prospects and a draft pick in exchange for Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman James Wisniewski. This will be Wisniewski's second stint with the Ducks as he began his career in Anaheim in 2009. The Ducks completed the trifecta of defenseman trading for Corbinian Holzer of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The retooled Ducks have won 2 straight games since the trade deadline. Wednesday marked the 25th anniversary of the death of Loyola Marymount basketball star Hank Gathers. Gathers collapsed on the court in a game against the Portland Pilots. He died that night. He was just 23. Earlier that season, Gathers was diagnosed with an abnormal heartbeat after collapsing at the free throw line. But the Star Center felt that the medicine he was prescribed was slowing him down, so he stopped taking it. Gathers was a second-team All-America on Loyola's nationally ranked team. He finished his career averaging 28 points, a school record. Hank the Bank, he will be remembered forever. And a little clock controversy for the Clippers on Wednesday night in their game against the Blazers. Let's pick it up in the 4th. Game tied with 2.8 seconds left in regulation. Chris Paul misses a layup. DeAndre Jordan grabs a rebound as a shot clock goes off, but he doesn't realize there's still time left on the game clock and just holds onto the ball. CP3 yells at Jordan to score, but time runs out. What a shame. Blazers end up winning in overtime 98-93. And that's it. We'll be right back.
Stand up for what's right. Chapman University. Passion, perseverance, teamwork, integrity. Create value in the world. The School of Law at Chapman University. Lead. Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Chemistry, physics, computational science, biology. Start doing research in your first year. Soar to new heights. The Schmidt College of Science at Chapman University. Explore.
Welcome back. The Hollywood Reporter ranks Chapman's film program as number 7 in the country. But with recent accomplishments from Dodge graduates, hopefully we'll be climbing up the ranks.
That's right, and our entertainment reporter Harper White has the latest reason why. Harper?
Thanks, guys. A Dodge College alum is putting Chapman's film school on Hollywood's radar. 2005 graduate Justin Simeon won the award for Best First Screenplay at the 30th Independent Spirit Awards. His film Dear White People was also up for Best Feature Film. The The inspiration for Simeon's screenplay came from his belief that Black culture was not represented in mainstream movies. And in his candid acceptance speech, Simeon spoke about how this win is a step in the right direction.
So this means so much to me because it feels like I do belong in the culture, and I just want to say thank you. I'm very grateful. And if you have a story, if you don't see yourself in the culture, please put yourself there because we need you. We need to see the world from your eyes. Thank you.
Simeon's comedy grabbed over $4 million at the box office and earned a 92 rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And now we head from the red carpet to the runway. The 2015 Orange County Fashion Week was a hit. It ran from last Friday to yesterday, and the show was held at 28 Restaurant Bar and Lounge. The catwalk featured casual wear, workout attire, and much more. With around 50 to 100 people in attendance, everyone was anxious and eager to see the current designs and styles for this upcoming season. But the event is much more than just glitz and glam. One of the main goals of the week is to support local emerging designers regardless of their background or education. OC Fashion's Week mission is to inspire designers to be fashionably responsible and give back to their communities by providing opportunities to work alongside many of the most accomplished designers and brands in the world. If you're looking for a way to experience some OC culture this weekend, then the Downtown Fullerton Art Walk is the event for you. For its 5th anniversary, local artists will be performing, such as the electronic Spanish pop band Puerto Arrow, solo reggae performer Chad Martini, indie rock band Canyons, and a visual artist, Chantel De Felice, who will be doing a live demo between music performances. Besides for musical guests, there will also be dancers, interactive art and theater, and gourmet food trucks. The Downtown Fullerton Art Walk takes place the first Friday of every month, and the city has been rated the 3rd best art district in Orange County. So, Michael, Sydney, what are your plans for the weekend?
Thanks, Harper. My 21st birthday is tomorrow, so I'm going to go down to San Diego and spend it with my twin sister.
And I am actually headed to Vegas with my best friend from home, so I'm quite excited myself.
Cool. You can take a drink or two for me and my sister.
I can do that.
Cool. So playing basketball can be tough enough, but how about doing it while riding a donkey?
Seniors at a New York high school hosted a community fundraiser Tuesday. About 200 people, many in costumes, came to support the class and have a little fun laughing at the players.
Proceeds from the donkey basketball game will go toward the student seniors class trip. Now, I'm not much of a basketball person, but if I got to ride a donkey while playing a basketball game, I think I'd partake in it.
You know what? I completely agree with you there.
So log on to our website, chapmannews.tv, to see all of our episodes, Chapman Newsy bios, and top headlines.
And make sure you also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Chapman News, Twitter and Instagram at Chapman News, and YouTube at youtube.com/Chapman News.
That's all we have for you today. Tune in the same time next week for your OC News.
But before we go, birthday week shout out to Newsy's Dan Steele, Daniel Starkind, and this guy, Michael Ragazzo.